Hello, everyone, especially my people in Louisiana. Have you guys heard about the salt water that is backing up into the Mississippi River? Well, it started, I think, last year in Plaquemine Parish. Now we have a state an emergency declaration signed. So, according to ABC News.go.com, saltwater intrusion in Mississippi River could impact drinking water in Louisiana, officials say. The New Orleans mayor signed an emergency declaration over the intrusion. New Orleans Mayor Latoya Cantrell has signed an emergency declaration over an intrusion of saltwater into the Mississippi River that officials say could impact the water supply in the region. Quote, we will continue to work with our partners locally and statewide as we closely monitor this situation, Cantrell wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter. Officials said weather forecasts indicate that river volume will fall to historic lows in the next several weeks. As a result, salt water from the Gulf of Mexico is intruding upstream in Louisiana. Plaquemines Parish has been affected by this issue since June. Drought conditions have only gotten worse since that time. So I stand corrected. It was of June this year. Excuse me. So drought conditions have only gotten worse since that time, which means additional communities along the Mississippi River could be impacted. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards said in a statement Friday, intruding salt water at the Boothville water treatment plant, water intake in Plaquemines Parish is impacting the drinking water supply to residents and businesses from Empire to Venice in southeastern Louisiana, local officials said. So it is already impacting the water in those areas. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers constructed an underwater barrier sill in July to create an artificial basin to help delay the ingress of salt water. The upriver intrusion of salt water overtopped the sill's elevation earlier this week. Edwards said additional work will begin soon to further delay an increase of the saltwater intrusion. Honey, in my little opinion, I'm not, qualified to really speak on the engineers and how they're fixing it. I mean, seriously, to overtop the first one, if the drought continues, it's going to overtop the second one. What else can we do, you guys? Well, what we're going to do, since I live in Louisiana, we already have a stockpile. We started using our stockpile water last week. So we're going to have to top it up again. Can't be caught slipping out here. And, guys, we were warned about this years ago about how salt water could start intruding on fresh water if climate change happened. And look at what's going on. And it's going to happen in other areas. Man, you guys, we have to stop for a moment and look at what's happening around the world. These things have we've never experienced so many different things, so many different hurricanes and earthquakes and fires and floods. And I just feel like the world has been toppled and shaken, and it's crazy. It's kind of scary, even though I believe in God with all my heart. I'm a human being. I have human feelings. It is scary to watch what is going on in this world. So if you are in those areas that I just spoke about, if you're in Louisiana, and most of us depend on that Mississippi for fresh water, and I'm saying fresh, but in my opinion, it's been polluted with all of these refineries that run along the Mississippi. So we're drinking polluted water, in my opinion, but it's not salt water. So that's why we call it fresh water. go out and buy yourselves some bottled water. I know not everybody has money, including myself, to go and buy a big truckload of water, but start somewhere. Look for sales. I saw a sale yesterday at a local mom and pop store, and for a 24 pack of spring water, it was way less than buying it at Walmart. So I think I'm going to go there today and get some. So if you guys can start off just buying 1 or 2 packs at a time, next week get some more, do it. Because I just feel like this is going to get not worse, excuse me, worse. And we need to start protecting ourselves and making sure that we have water to drink and to cook. Because remember, you can't cook without water either, because it's just going to get salty and saltier as your food cooks. Anyway, just let's get prepared, people. So back to the article. Next week, officials will begin making the existing sill larger to further delay the saltwater intrusion by an estimated 10 to 15 days. So it's only going to delay it 10 to 15 days. The river's water level is forecast to continue to drop, and very minimal rainfall to mitigate the circumstances is expected. Local, state, and federal officials are working to determine what can be done to protect water systems and water intake points. Unfortunately, without any relief from the dry weather, we are starting to see the saltwater intrusion creep further up the river, despite efforts to mitigate the problems by the Army Corps of Engineers, Edwards said. Most importantly, this is not a time to panic or listen to misinformation, he added. We have been through this situation before in 1988, and we are monitoring this situation very closely and applying the lessons learned. It is extremely important for the public to stay informed and only rely on credible sources for updates during this event. So I'm going to keep looking for information as it comes out, and I will make little short videos only updating whatever I find whenever I find it. So if you're interested, you live in Louisiana, and you're concerned about this, keep looking for updates, and let's talk about it in the comments. Are you prepared? Not only Louisiana, so any coastal area, Miami, all that East Coast, anybody, anywhere on the coast, be looking for. Anyway, you guys, let's stay up on this, especially if you're a Louisianan like myself. It's scary to think about that, not having fresh water. We can't live without it, right? So let's talk about this in the comments. Thanks, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.